All right, now the ongoing coffee reforms spearheaded by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua are not bearing the expected fruits. According to coffee stakeholders, the reforms are being implemented hurriedly and could end up costing the country thousands of jobs as coffee millers shut down factories due to an unfriendly operating environment. Jimmy Mbogo caught up with the PS in the State Department for Crop Development, Kelo Harsama, to understand why the undertaking is in jeopardy.
Well, thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to you too. As you rightfully said, we have been following an extensive deliberation within the coffee subsector that has lasted for the last about 4 hours. Different stakeholders within the coffee sector's value chain. We're talking farmers, we're talking coffee marketers, millers, all of them just trying to give their feedback, particularly on the issue of some of the reforms that have been spearheaded by the government and particularly by the Deputy President, that is Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. And of course, this is one of the sectors that for the longest time has been the country's best forex earner, and a lot of these stakeholders are complaining about some of these changes that are currently going on in the sector. They're saying some of them have become too rapid, they're happening too rapid, that they need time to adjust. The other thing that they've been talking about is the issue of the bureaucracy that some of these changes are now bringing, and also just looking, we have had that some factories are also considering shutting down. But currently I'm joined by the PS in the State Department of Crop Development, that is PS Kelo Harsama. Bona PS, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. So there seems to be a lot of issues that are currently happening and bedeviling the coffee subsector. From the engagements that you've had, top of mind that has come out of this deliberation is that they're saying that the reforms that are currently happening, they're happening too rapidly and that they need time to adjust. Maybe give us your sentiments on that.
Thank you very much. We are here to listen to those views and sentiments of farmers and various value chain actors in the coffee sector, the farmers, the millers, the marketers, and coffee associations who are seriously concerned with the rapid manner in which the reforms in the coffee sector are being implemented, and have claimed that some of the mills of coffee factories have been closed, hundreds of workers have been laid off, and therefore they needed some time. They needed the government to give them some time as they adjust. And they have no problem at all with the reforms which are being spearheaded by the Deputy President. They are very happy about it, but they are saying they should be given, some gradual pace to adjust to situations or problems which have been caused by the rapid manner in which the reforms have been implemented.
So how do you intend on merging all these interests in these reforms and making sure that by the end of the day, everyone is happy?
We know the roles played by each of them. We know the role played by the farmer. We know the role played by the marketer and the miller. For a long time, there has been an allegation that some of these partners have not been fair to each other. The stakeholders in this sector, the value chain players, some of them had advantage over another. And some of them are even claiming that others are cartels, others are gaining unfairly more than the rest. So this interplay and interrelationship has to be managed properly in the reforms which are coming. And what you have had here is that farmers are complaining and saying that the millers are getting more than they deserve, or even the marketers are charging more for commissions, which should have been fairer, which should have been cheaper. Those are administrative and regulatory issues which can easily be ironed out in the upcoming reforms.
How do you intend to meet the demand that then comes out of these new markets?
Very well. It is very good for us to listen to them like this today. Once we listen, once we understand what are the problems hindering the growth of this sector, why were the farmers uprooting coffee in the past? There are so many factors, ranging from prices, ranging from harsh regulatory rules, and also the claims of some people gaining much more over each other in a very unfair way, all those things, we are going to listen and adjust and see the best way to help these people.
All right, so Bonapius, of course, the concerning issue out of this entire deliberation is the fact that some mills are actually closing down, and that means they're going to be job losses. So then, as government, what is your plan to mitigate against this and to make sure that some of these mills continue operating and that these people keep their jobs?
Actually, that is why we are here today. The government has been informed that out of the reforms, factories have been closed. I think more than 5 factories or mills have been closed. So many workers have been, laid off. That is why we are here today, to see the best way to reinstate those factories and see how farmers can be taken through in a very friendly way through this reform agenda.
Yeah. All right, Bonapius, of course, there's the question of how soon do we expect these reforms to officially kick in?
We have just heard here that participants here have said that they were not part and parcel of that bill. Yeah. They were not consulted. They did not take part when the bill was being crafted. So these are issues which have been raised, and I'm going to share this with the high authorities with a view to see how best we can sail through that one also.
We have seen some of these deliberations. We've seen these engagements before. How different is this going to be, and what assurances should the stakeholders have that whatever they raise here, some of the concerns they raise here are actually going to be implemented in the long run?
You saw more than 3 permanent secretaries here, and I announced here that when we were here, the President of the Republic of Kenya is aware of these proceedings. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is aware that we are here, and what we have heard here, the sentiments, the opinions, the views will be taken very, very seriously and handled accordingly.
All right, thanks so much, Bonapius. And of course, there's a conversation that we'll be following in the coming days just to see what happens with this particular sector. But for now, back to you.
Thank you for that. Now,